I've always been very focused on energy democracy and wanting to make sure everybody had access to energy.
Jennifer Holmgren was born in Colombia. 10 years ago, she read an article that warned unchecked climate change would render her country unfit to produce coffee beans. She knew it was time we all woke up and smelled her country's famous crop.
It isn't about sea level rise. It's about a fundamental change to our ecosystem, to our way of life. And so I realized that I had to contribute to that I had to try to do something about it.
A chemist with an MBA, she spent many years in the oil refining business. About the time she was having her coffee crisis, a startup in New Zealand called Lanzatech captured her attention by the way it was capturing carbon dioxide and recycling it. Biologist Sean Simpson is the co-founder.
Everybody at the time was really looking at the use of woody biomass as a resource from which to produce fuels and chemicals. It struck me as being very hard from an economic perspective. And as biologists, we thought of biological ways of converting gases, and that led us to the idea behind Lanzatech, which is using specialized microbes that eat gases, greenhouse gases, to produce fuels and chemicals.
Simpson was looking for a CEO, so Holmgren got on a plane. So take us back to that first meeting with Sean and what captured your imagination.
It wasn't just a biology experiment, it was actually also engineering thinking on how to scale up the technology. And for that reason, I knew that this was scalable in a way that could have a material impact on our carbon problem.
She took the job and 4 years later moved the company to Skokie, Illinois. Today they have a commercial plant operating in China and 2 more on the way. And there are 2 others under construction in India and Belgium. Working with the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, some of the ethanol they produce from waste carbon dioxide becomes jet fuel. In 2018, a Virgin Atlantic 747 carrying 200 passengers flew from Orlando to London on Lanzatech jet fuel, recycled from a smokestack at a steel mill. Virgin Chairman Richard Branson is one of Lanzatech's biggest fans.
It's extraordinary how brave they've been. It's extraordinary that they've managed to keep the funding coming in, and it's extraordinary that they've managed to get to where they've got. And hopefully all the hard work they've put in over the last 16 to 18 years will now come to fruition.
Jennifer Holmgren and Lanzatech are not stopping at jet fuel. They say the carbon they recycle can be used to make all kinds of fuels and products that rely one way or another on CO2. Thomas Edison, if he were alive today, I suspect he'd be very interested in this. His approach to innovation seems to match a lot of the way you're thinking about things.
You used the right word, Miles, innovation. It's not invention and it's not engineering. It's innovation. It's doing something differently that solves a problem, that creates a solution that can matter and scale.
He said, I never failed. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work.
I actually don't think of mistakes as mistakes. I just move on. You just have to dig deeper. Every time something goes wrong, you have to dig deeper to find a solution.
What do you say to the next generation of inventors and innovators?
Go for it. Go for it hard. Go for it big. Don't give up. If something stands in your way, find another way around it and just keep going.
For the Edison Awards, I'm Miles O'Brien in Skokie, Illinois.